G'day YouTube, how's your drought going? Right, now we got that sorted out, let's have a little bit of a look at things. Today is the 8th of August, here's the 6th of August's newspaper, warmest winter. And the front page view is, Glen Innes experienced the warmest July since 1993 in a town which recorded the coldest temperature for 2019. According to Bureau of Meteorology statistics, Glen Innes recorded an average maximum temperature of 15.3 degrees for July, 3 degrees above the month average of 12.6. It's the warmest average since 1993, when the station measured 15.4 degrees as the average maximum. That's despite Glen Innes posting its coldest July morning in 25 years in a week when the town was for 3 days the coldest place in Australia. The reading of minus 12.3 was also the coldest temperature measurement anywhere in the country for 2019. The Glen Innes Airport weather station also set new records, with the average maximum temperature recording its highest average maximum temperatures since 2002. Both weather stations measured very low rainfall in July, with levels sitting at 1/10 the average for both. Glen Innes has received less than half its average rainfall for 2019. Tenterfield, north of here, a town desperately staving off level 5 water restrictions, received its lowest rainfall since 1970. Armidale has set a new record. In 2019, the town recorded its lowest rainfall ever for the month of July. Inverell, Moree, Armidale, Guyra, Moree and Inverell, so Moree's in there twice, have also experienced their warmest month of July in the decades, with Inverell setting its highest average minimum temperature ever. Glen Innes is on level 3 water restrictions as of August 1. The current drought's been described by bomb climatologist David Jones as the worst on record, comparing it with million-year-old records. Mayor Carol Sparks said the water crisis was a result of climate change. Council decided to jump a water level early, barely a day after going to level 2. Nationally, July was the 4th warmest on record. The unseasonably warm winter weather looks set to continue, with tops of 16 and 17 degrees forecast until Friday. Those of you familiar with my channel will know that I've got a fairly long-running program going of recording my rainfall and totting it up. And I haven't done that since the 20th of June. But anyway, then the next trick is to graph it. And this is showing monthly average rainfalls. The blue is the range of the highest it had previously been for 15 years and the lowest it had previously been on any particular month. The green is your average monthly rainfall over 15 years. The red with orange overlaid is your 2018. And yeah, we just went down and it got horrible. And of course the purple, that's this year, 2019. And because that's not actually the easiest way to visualize what's happening on, this year compared to last year compared to the average, here's a different way of looking at the same information. The green line is the cumulative average rainfall averaged out over 15 years. Well, actually, I think 2002 to 2019 inclusive, but we're missing 2011, 2010 and 2009. So, okay, 16 years. Back it off to 14 years because the average figure, the green line, it doesn't include these two horror years the one that we've had and the one that we are having. So that's where we're at. And according to the people who know things, it's not going to get too much better. For a nasty sort of a while, this is the Northern Daily Leaders insert from the same Glen Innes Examiner newspaper I was reading you the front page of. What this is your chance of exceeding the median rainfall in percent, with 80% the dark blue and 20% the dark red. 50-50 chance is your white in the middle. Chance of exceeding the median rainfall August to October 2019. And here we are here, and we're looking at 25 to 30% chance of getting more than our average rain. The weather outlook is not looking any better, with drier than average conditions predicted for much of New South Wales and warmer day temperatures higher likely for the next 3 months. Meanwhile, it is highly likely the fire season will be brought forward in many areas of New South Wales as the landscape continues to dry. The Indian Ocean Dipole, IOD, is refusing to budge, and its positive reading is cutting any chance of above average rainfall for vast parts of the continent. Bureau of Meteorology climatologist Jonathan Pollock said the outlook was a generally dry pattern in eastern and southeastern Australia from August to October. The only places in New South Wales where there could be better than average rain is in inland New South Wales and the northwest corner. At least there's little ray of hope in that area. At this stage, there is no drought-breaking rains predicted. Mr. Pollock also said that daytime temperatures throughout spring were predicted to be warmer than normal, and there was a high chance of that happening. What is happening is a fairly normal rainfall response to that positive IOD pattern. The IOD would not break down until later in the year when the monsoon arrived north of Australia. The IOD occurs in a positive dry range when the sea temperatures are warm near the Cape of Good Hope and cool near Sumatra. The system of air hanging over the sea in these areas keeps fueling the IOD as it stood. The Southern Oscillation Index in the Pacific was also not giving hope of any breakdown from neutral pattern to dry or wetter conditions. The lack of rain was also due to the warmer than normal waters to the north of Australia and colder than normal water to the south of the continent. A drier than average August to October is likely for large parts of the country, including much of eastern and northern Australia and parts of southwest Western Australia and southern South Australia, the Bureau said in its outlook. The month of August is likely to be drier over the tropical north and extending down eastern Queensland and New South Wales into northern Victoria. Conversely, southeast and Western Australia is likely to be wetter than average, with the rest of the country having roughly equal chances of a wetter or drier than average month. It should be noted that August is typically a dry month for the tropical north, apart from Queensland's east coast. Historical outlook accuracy for August to October is moderate to high for most of the country, but low in parts of southeast and southwest Australia. The DPI also said that the influence of the Indian Ocean Dipole, quote, remains the dominant feature of the forecast. So what this sort of says is we're entirely likely to be tracking along here somewhere rather than spontaneously reverting to up there. Therefore, looking at the bushfire fuel bomb fire trap that I appear to be living in, considering the half-empty state of my buoy wall tanks, the both of them, it occurred to me 2 days ago that now would be a really good time to activate the Whiteman's Raindance. Over there you see a 12-foot pad, whereas these buoy wall tanks are good for maybe 5,500 litres each. The pad was built when I thought I could move one of those buoy wall tanks from the number 1 position to the number 3 position because it already had a few little leaks. And I thought, yeah, put it there as somewhere to place excess water. Never had any excess water since I put the thing there. In fact, nearly a year ago, I paid $130 for 6,000 litres to top these two tanks up. And though I've got myself a nice fire hose with a rinky-dink little water pump to suck out of me buoy walls and blow out of me fire hose, I haven't really got enough water to be thrown at a fire. I'm about 6,000 litres short, kind of thing, really. And it's not as if I haven't got somewhere to put more water than that. I could fit 6,000 litres in there and then drop this onto the pre-prepared pad and stick another 6,500 litres into it, because it's all there. Inside the top bars we have the legs, which is quite a cunning way to pack it and store it, I thought. So, literally, ring water carter. 2 days ago I rang the water carter. Yesterday I added about 3 wheelbarrows full of fresh dirt to the top of the pad and gently watered it down to the tune of about 40 litres via a watering can. And to top the $230 I think it cost for the pool, we add about $58 worth of cheap tarpaulins for a ground sheet and a roll of Gorilla Tape to stick the poly tarps together, because nothing else works, and people tell me that Gorilla Glue will work, so that's $30 a roll. So assuming that it's going to work, 6,500 litres of storage for $320. I already owned the rocks and the dirt. My time's worth nothing, so the pad cost nothing to construct. And if we're going to get pernickety with the accounting, you might as well add in the cost of 2 ultraviolet covers, which should be 2 years worth on the new pool, and I think they're about $40 each. So 320 plus 80 makes it a $400 exercise. I'd like 12,000 litres, but the truck only carries 10,000 litres, so that'll be $200. And the plan is to fill up the big new tank and put the other 4,000 litres across these two. So that was the state of the art last night. I had everything organised. Last month I got 4.05 millimetres of rain. Last night, in response to the whitefellas Raindance, ordering a truckload of water. Look at that, 4.75 millimetres of rain showed up just before sunrise. As I always say, what's the point in having a God theory if it doesn't work every day and in real time? And if your God theory hasn't got a sense of humour, then there's not much fun in that either. So anyway, that's the plan. This afternoon I put all this together on the pad. I'll probably put several hundred litres of water into the new pool with the firefighting pump just to kind of stabilise it. Tomorrow the water carter should show up, top off all of my tanks, and he'll bring me enough water that if I was to put it all through the firefighting pump, 10,000 litres, it would be equivalent over as far as that fire hose can reach, and I can basically wet down 0.4 of a hectare with that thing. It would be the equivalent of 4.5 millimetres worth of rain. So there's another way to calculate the price of rain. 1/4 of an inch on a 1 acre, $200. Assuming you've already got the tank, the pump, the hose, the nozzle and the fuel with which to distribute it. So let that be a lesson to you. Whiteman's Raindance and the industrial cost of making it rain. And rather than end on a totally sadly ironic note, We're ringing the water carder, makes it rain. There's this. Australian native animals are still fighting the ferals. This shot's all the more impressive as it was snapped by a surveillance camera. Image of a wedge-tailed eagle chasing a fox was captured in Oxley Wild Rivers National Park near Mixed Livestock Enterprises. So it's beer o'clock, I guess. Ciao.